the CBSE board has filed an affidavit saying that the optional exams are likely to be held between August 15th and September 15th, depending on the conducive situation. If students are not satisfied with their results, online facility will be set up for registration for the optional exams. CBSE is also mentioned in the affidavit. If there are any disputes over the results, those will be referred to a specific committee. These are the details that have actually been submitted in an affidavit to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also took up the issue of pending state Class 12 exams and will continue hearing this matter tomorrow. Remember, while CBSE and other central boards like ICSE have decided to cancel Class 12 exams, several of the state boards have also done so, but there are still a few states that are yet to decide. Today, Punjab, Tripura and Assam informed the court that they have also cancelled physical exams. They were the only states, in fact, remaining to do so. The Standing Council of Andhra Pradesh told the top court that the state government wants to conduct physical exams as a matter of policy. Kerala has sought an extension of a week to decide. So there are a couple of still these states which are left to take a decision. But the court has said that they need details as soon as possible, and there will not be any more extensions. Meenakshi Bhanja, in fact, has been tracking this story for us and will be with us in just a bit to give us more details. The fact of the matter is that the petitioners are seeking a level playing field, is saying the decision needs to be the same, including whether you're going to hold the exams or not. The hearing will continue tomorrow. Let's go across to Meenakshi for more details on what happened in the Supreme Court today, Meenakshi, as far as the Class 12 exams are concerned.
Well, yes, the matter is inconclusive as of now, Tanvi, because there are several areas going forward which clearly the Supreme Court's intervention has been sought. And like you rightly mentioned, Supreme Court is looking to essentially harmonize the examination policy of all states of the Indian Union. And today there was a development pertaining to an additional affidavit that's been filed by CBSE. This is to announce that disputes regarding computation of final marks will be referred to an internal committee which will comprise CBI officials. This is additional information which the Supreme Court had sought on the last date of hearing. It was argued by the attorney, the internal dispute resolution mechanism, and today it has been formally announced by virtue of this affidavit. And not just that, CBSE said the final result will be announced on the 31st of July, which we saw last time as well. But the affidavit has specified the tentative period of exams for those who opt out of this mechanism and instead choose physical examinations, hinting that it may be held tentatively as of now. Because remember, everything is ongoing, subject to the conditions on ground. So the tentative deadline has been set as between the 15th of August to 15th of September 2021. This affidavit has been filed by CBSE's Controller of Examinations, Sanyam Bharadwaj, through the counsel in the Supreme Court. And it further goes on to state as to how marks obtained in optional exam will be treated as final marks of those who opt for it, it says. And then it also goes on to note that the Grievance Redressal Committee has been constituted additionally on directions of the Supreme Court, as we were showcasing last time also during the hearing, which had said in case the students apply for correction of final results declared by the concerned boards, there should be an inbuilt mechanism in the scheme to address the grievances of the students about the marks obtained by him or her. So these are the two important aspects that emerged from this additional affidavit. Apart that, like you were referring to, there has to be a harmonization of various state boards, how they plan to go with their respective plans or roadmaps ahead. Kerala wanted 1 week's time to revert, but the Supreme Court denied the week's adjournment that Kerala was seeking. Instead, has posted the matter for tomorrow now for further hearing and any interim directions if need arises.
All right, Meenakshi, thanks so much for joining us. Of course, keeping a close track on these developments in the top court. The hearing is set to now continue tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court will hear the matter on petitions challenging the decision of CBSE and ICSE to cancel the physical board exams tomorrow as well. A parents' association and students flagged several concerns with regard to CBSE and ICSE schemes for evaluation of Class 12 results. They said that many clauses are arbitrary and would be detrimental to the future prospects of the students. Or on one hand, you have petitions which say that the decision should be uniform, and some of the states are yet to decide on whether or not to cancel the exams. On the other hand, there are also now those who are questioning the decision of cancelling and the criteria that has been now announced for evaluation of performance. Educationist Rajesh Hasija joins me on the phone line. Good evening. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Mr. Hasija, I think a large part of many students at least have an issue with the fact that Class 11's performance will also be factored in. Usually students tend to take it easy or even struggle in Class 11th and would like it to see if 10th and 12th scores are actually factored in. Do you think that needs to be something that one can look at?
See, the purpose of education is assessment of learning. That learning happened in class 10th under a standard code of conduct. Even in class 11th, it happened under the supervision of respective schools. And now in class 12th, online, due to pandemic, therefore 58%, 30 mark practical and 28 marks, which means 40% of 70, has been given to the school. I think it's a very, very fair policy, including if your purpose is only to get 100 out of 100, then nobody can help you. But otherwise, it is a fair policy of assessment.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, and of course, assessment of any student has to be on overall education, what they have accumulated and assimilated constantly, and it should be a constant assessment program as well. But that's not been the case. Honestly, in our country, this is how the system has now been for years, where everything is just focused on your board results or your competitive entrance exam results, and everything is just centered around them. To then suddenly change that system and say, no, now we're going to look at 3 years performance is what has got some students worried.
No, please allow me to interrupt. This is not the case now also. This time, if you take up the whole data of student, let's talk, there are 3 set of children. One is the gifted, one is average, and third is below average. These are the below average children have got huge benefited by this marking scheme. They are all happy. The gifted children, believe it, those who are focusing for IIT, medical, CLAT, they all have their entrance examination. If they have already studied well, for them clearing these entrance exam would not be difficult at all. Question would come only at the middle level. In case middle level school has taken, the CBSE is taking care. I'm part of this policy, and let me tell you, we found the correlation between the 10th marks and 12th marks. We found it was very high correlation, almost 0.77, which shows there is a huge similarity. Therefore, these middle level children, they would also get the proportion marks. However, if they are not happy, they are not able to clear any entrance exam, they still have the option to take up a physical exam between 15th August and September.
Fair enough. Mr. Hasija, let me ask you on this other aspect that's also reached the top court, the fact that some of the states are yet to decide on what to do with the Class 12 exams. Do you think there needs to be a uniform policy that if central boards have cancelled, so should every state, or should we leave it to individual states to decide?
I personally feel when you initially said that some children might be at loss, to have a uniform policy. Why uniform policy? Only in our case I'm saying because number is a huge. We have 14 lakhs only CBSE children, and every state has their own strength also. Therefore, to put everybody on the same platform, it is better to have a uniform policy. And I'm really shocked to know why some states want to have the end examination. They never had any physical classes. It was only online classes going on. I'm sure they must have done some assessment during the year. And it is said the assessment throughout the journey of the academic calendar is more important than year-end examination. A child might be very, very good throughout the year, but at the last minute, something happens, he loses confidence, he's not able to get the mark. Doesn't mean that he's not a learner. He might not get a trophy, but imagine if Arjun had not hit the eye of that fish, does it mean that Arjun was not well trained? No, that's wrong. So I feel exams should be cancelled. I have seen people, children, who have lost both their parent and one parent or grandparent. They are suffering like anything. There is a huge trauma. So exams should be cancelled. Those who want to have improvement, they can take up. They are most welcome.
All right, Mr. Hasija, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your views. Of course, it remains to be now seen what happens in the Supreme Court if the top court indeed now steps into it once the board and the government have taken a decision.